Ce rendez-vous spécial, plateau spécial consacré à la publication de la liste de Marc Brice, le sélectionneur des Lions indomptables. 30 présélectionnés sur la liste du sorcier belge pour affronter donc le Cap-Vert et l'Angola pour les éliminatoires de la Coupe du Monde 2026. Sur ce plateau, avec moi ce matin, Dikan Gebib. Bon après-midi.
Good afternoon, Achille. Good afternoon to you, televiewers. We are glad to have you here live on Équinoxe TV. It's a special program on your #1 television station, and you know very well it's a special day too in Cameroon with the list that has just been published by the head coach of the Indomitable Lions, Marc Brice. And of course, you notice that in the list of Marc Brice, we have so many new players. And of course, just to admit the fact that there are two locally based players that we heard their name on the list of Marc Brice. We have Nchindo Jean Bosco, who is of Young Sports Academy, and Amankwo, who is also a player of Astro of Douala here in the economic capital. So the list is already on. You know, earlier on, he was also expected to be at the premises of the of Cameroon Football Federation in Chinga, but unfortunately, well, he wasn't present. So the list of 30 selected pre-selected players already published, and many will obviously have their own say on it. So it's a special edition on Equinoxe Television in Douala, and I must tell you that we have a battery of reporters to present at the conference room of the Ahmadou Ahidjo Stadium in Yaoundé. We have Guy Zogo and of course Aik Sire, we're not forgetting the cameraman Joël Essenge, who are all present in the inner bowls of the Ahmadou Ahidjo Stadium conference room.
Exactement, dans un instant, nous allons donc retrouver la forte équipe d'Équinoxe Télévision mobilisée du côté du stade Omnisport Ahmadou Ahidjo de Yaoundé pour cette conférence de presse de Marc Brice. 30 joueurs présélectionnés donc dans le cadre des éliminatoires de la Coupe du Monde 2026. Vous l'avez dit, ce mardi, quand Gabriel, il y a des curiosités dans cette liste déjà avec la sélection ou la présélection du gardien Andrew Nana, le Mancunien, donc qui fait partie de cette liste. Mais en défense, il y a le retour de Ngadui également. Il y a Faïkonis qui revient également dans cette liste. On va dire, entre guillemets, c'était des personnes qui étaient bannies. On ne les a pas vues dans la tanière ces derniers mois. Choupo-Moting également qui revient. Et on a suivi le coach Marc Brice qui a dit qu'il veut sélectionner des joueurs qui ont du talent, mais qui ne sont pas assez connus. C'est pourquoi il a sorti donc de son chapeau ces pépites du football camerounais qui évoluent du côté de l'Europe. Et vous avez également bien fait de situer le contexte de la publication de cette liste de Marc Brice. C'est une journée marathon du staff nommé par la FECA Foot et pour convocation pour laquelle Marc Brice était attendu, mais il a fait office d'absent ainsi que ses adjoints. On les a donc retrouvés cet après-midi pour cette conférence de presse de publication de la liste qui va donc participer aux éliminatoires de la Coupe du Monde 2026. Dès qu'on sera prêt avec nos amis de Yaoundé pour justement voir tout ce qui s'est dit de ce côté et ainsi que des réactions après la publication de cette liste. Il faut dire aussi, c'est Marc Dikan Gabriel, que maintenant on franchit une autre étape, on va dire, de ce long feuilleton entre la FECA Foot et le MINSEP. Maintenant qu'on a publié la liste, est-ce qu'il va falloir retrouver rapidement le terrain?
That is the big question that many people will be asking, with the tug of war going on between the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education and the Cameroon Football Federation. Now, we know when we look at the list that has been published, as you rightly put it, Achille, most of the players, some of them were banished already from the team, and bringing back those players into the squad of the national football team, well, many people will be asking questions, and again there are questions that people want to find out. We notice that FECA Foot is actually the organ that also sends invitation to players, and you know FECA Foot is also the one having sponsors that actually sponsors the national football team. So when we noticed this afternoon, we had some empty spaces, but of course we are not going to get in deep into the facts that we saw with our own eyes, just to notice the presence too of Goran Collins, who actually missed out on the Nations Cup in Cote d'Ivoire that ended in the month of February, and also Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting, Bassogor Christian, who all of them have been called back to the national team.
Grosse curiosité, le retour de Bassogor dans
and
cette
many are asking questions. But again, I am a little bit pleased with the fact that we have, Vincent Aboubakar is there with the experience to hand it over to those who are coming up. So for me, it's a great one for Vincent Aboubakar, who is coming in, and of course, Andre Onana, the goalkeeper, who has just won the best goalkeeper of the Premier League this season. That's for the month of May. So it's a congratulations for him. And just to note, Cameroon is having 2 matches coming up in the month of June. One against Cape Verde, and that will be played either in Yaoundé or played in Douala. One of the 2 stadiums here will be hosting the games. And of course, after that, Cameroon will be traveling to Luanda, where they are going to take on Angola. That will be on the 11th of June at the Estadio 11 November. That is where that match will take place. It will be 2 p.m. Cameroon time, and of course 3 p.m. in Cote d'Ivoire, as you must have noticed. So we are expecting our battery of reporters, Guy Zogo and Ike Cyril, who are at the conference room of the Ahmadou Ahidjo Stadium. Definitely they will come back to the pre-selected players, and also have to talk with some colleagues who are present there. Earlier on, it was a very, very hectic day. Mark Breeze was supposed to be at Chinga. He failed to be there, but the other persons appointed by Samuel Etofis were all present there. So we are hoping and expecting to have get in touch with our correspondents who are live at the conference room of the Ahmadou Ahidjo Stadium in Yaoundé.
Et on a remarqué surtout la présence des adjoints de Marc Brice, alors qu'on a vu d'autres adjoints qui étaient du côté de l'Africa Foot en fin de matinée. Eh bien, pour cette conférence d'après-match, on a bien observé que dans la salle, il y avait François Omam Bi, qui avait Cyprien Besson, il y avait gardien, l'entraîneur en charge des gardiens de but, Alioum Bokar, et même d'autres membres de l'encadrement administratif. On a remarqué aussi la présence du team manager Dani Nunke. Il y a également celui-là qui fait partie également de ce staff des Lions, Benjamin Barlow, coordinateur des sélections nationales. Et vous avez rappelé également ce Marc Dikam Guibri, ces rendez-vous qui attendent les Lions indomptables en juin prochain. Cameroun, donc Cap-Vert, et puis Angola, Cameroun. On rappelle simplement pour assurer les supporters que nous sommes toujours premiers à l'issue des 2 matchs qui ont déjà été disputés dans ces éliminatoires de la Coupe du Monde 2026. Le Cameroun qui garde la tête de ce groupe D avec 4 points, suivi quand même du Cap-Vert. C'est vrai qu'on a le même nombre de points avec le Cap-Vert, 4 points. C'est vraiment la différence.
Goal difference. Cameroun is having 3 goals. Cape Verde 2, and Libya is also having 4 points. They have a goal difference of 1.
Ça veut dire que c'est encore serré, mais on garde quand même la tête de ce groupe-là. C'est peut-être une mini-finale déjà Cameroun-Cap-Vert qui va se disputer dans les prochaines semaines.
That is true, and of course, we know if we have to go historically, we have to go behind. Cape Verde has always been a thorn on the flesh of Cameroon when it concerns football. Well, just for us to recall the name of those players who were pre-selected this afternoon, we have at the goalkeepers, we have Andre Onana, we have Omosola Simon, and we have Simon and Gapa Dunubu. Then at the defensive block, we have Christopher Wu, Jean-Charles Castelletto, we have Chachua, we have Harold Mukudi. We don't forget Bokele Dibango, who is a newcomer in the list. We have Michael Ngande, who was actually banished. He is also back. We have Nuhu Tolo and Fai Collins. We have Eto. It is not Samuel Eto Fils. It's James Eto. We have Kilama. So those are new names that we are discovering. And at the midfield, Zambo Angisa Hongla Martin and Cham Olivier Christophe Baleba. We have Ivan Neyu, Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting, not forgetting this other new name, Danzabe. We have John Bosco Chindo of Young Sport Academy. We have Pierre Kunde Malo. And for the attackers who will be getting us goal, we have Lakamze. We also have Brian Buemo. We have Nicolas Thomas Ngamale, we have Kudu, not forgetting the likes of Vincent Abubakar, Jean Amankwo, Faris Mumbanya, and Christophe Basogok. Those are the names of the pre-selected players for the matches. Cape Verde and Angola counting for day, it will be day 4 and day 5 of the eliminations. Don't forget that Eswatini, which was supposed to be a group, which was supposed to be in Cameroon's group, was actually moved out of the group. So Cameroon has the like of Mauritius Islands and also the likes of Libya. Angola, Cape Verde presently in the group, and in Group D of Cameroon, Cameroon is top with 4 points, goal difference 3. We have Cape Verde 4 points, goal difference 2. We have also Angola with 3 points, goal difference. No, we have Libya got 4 points, all of them 4 points with a goal difference of 1, and Angola comes behind Libya. So that is it for what we have to tell you concerning Cameroon. But again, it is a big news today in Cameroon. Marc Brice unveils his players. Unfortunately, it is under a context of a tug of war between the Cameroon Football Federation and, of course, the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education. Who has the right to appoint coaches and who does not have the right? The convention of 2015 is at the top of the game, as you rightly put it. As we've been discussing, many are already talking about that convention and the review of that convention. Many things is going to make the matters easier. But again, we are asking questions. The names are out. Invitation, is it Fecafoot or the ministry to that will send? So many questions. Will Fecafoot finally...
Non, normalement, c'est la Fédération camerounaise de football qui devrait le faire. Maintenant, on ne sait pas avec la crise actuelle.
Will the government finally, or with Fecafoot and the government finally come to an agreement? It's a big question. So we are waiting to see how the days unfold. We hope that our correspondents who are live at Ahmadu Ahijo Stadium's conference room will be joining us in a few minutes from now. But notwithstanding, maybe we can talk about these new guys. Well, I've never watched Eto play, Kilama, and also the likes of Danzabe, some of the new names that were discovered in this list. But again, we know John Bosco Chindo is one of those players, rock players that we watch playing with Young Sports Academy, and not forgetting the guy of Astro of Douala, Jules Amankwo, who is also a great player in terms of the attack. He has been scoring goals. But we have issues that most of the time players that are called up from the local scene, they are not given the chance to actually show themselves. So do you think Marc Brice will be a different person?
On a l'impression qu'ils sont souvent appelés juste pour faire la figuration, pour qu'on dise qu'on a convoqué des joueurs locaux. Ils n'ont pas souvent eu leur chance, malgré qu'ils ont été sélectionnés. On a par exemple vu lors de la récente Coupe du Monde avec
Nations Cup.
La Coupe du Monde. Coupe d'Afrique, exactement. C'est pas pourquoi j'insiste sur la Coupe du Monde, sur la Coupe d'Afrique avec ces locaux qui sont allés, mais qui n'ont pas pu donc jouer. En tout cas, on espère peut-être avec Marc Brice qu'on va donner la chance aux locaux, comme ça a été le cas par le passé. Vous avez cité Tindio Jean Bosco ou encore Jules Amanko. En tout cas, ce qu'il faut dire, c'est que l'entraîneur belge n'est pas allé se balader en Europe, encore moins dans les stades ici au Cameroun, parce qu'il a prospecté ici et en Europe pendant de longues semaines. Et donc, justement, il ramène ces personnes qu'on ne voit pas aussi tous les jours. Il a dit qu'il va recruter, sélectionner des joueurs talentueux, mais qu'on ne connaît pas. Donc, ça va permettre aussi de se mettre en lumière et pourquoi pas de prouver de quoi ils sont capables. Donc, c'est une liste qui était véritablement attendu par le public camerounais. On a l'habitude de le dire, nous sommes 27 millions d'entraîneurs, chacun va aller de son interprétation. Il y a également des analystes, des experts qui vont s'exprimer sur cette liste-là, notamment dans le cadre de nos éditions spécialisées. Mais on va faire confiance donc à la sélection de Marc Brice, surtout c'est un beau mix entre des anciens, des joueurs expérimentés, et ceux qui découvrent la tanière ces dernières semaines, et puis ceux qui découvrent pour la première fois. Donc ce maillage-là peut faire en sorte que on trouve un beau groupe qui pourra donc affronter ces équipes-là dans le cadre des éliminatoires de la Coupe du Monde 2026. On n'a pas toujours en repérage nos envoyés spéciaux à Yaoundé pour cette conférence de presse de publication de la liste de Marc Brice relativement à ces échéances qui arrivent en juin prochain. Mais on peut quand même continuer à s'interroger ce mardi sur ce contexte-là, ces dernières semaines qui ont beaucoup bougé entre la FECAFOOT et le MINSEP. Un coup, on a vu la publication ou alors la nomination du staff technique et administratif. il y a eu contestation de la FECAFOOT qui a saisi la FIFA qui a répondu, la FECAFOOT qui a écrit au MINICEP, le MINICEP également qui a réagi, cette convocation du staff technique à la Fédé et puis finalement cette publication de la liste par Marc Brice. C'est des semaines qui ont été bien agitées dans le football camerounais.
Right, as you put it, it has been a very, very hectic week, a hectic week, a period where we discovered just some talk of war, I can say, I even call it a cold war between FECAFOOT and the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education, beginning from when the appointment of Marc Brice was announced by the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education. Immediately that announcement, we remember the Cameroon Football Federation held a meeting in which actually they gave the president Samuel Eto'o 72 hours for him to appoint another the national team trainers, and that 72 hours came to pass without any coach. After some times, after maybe Cameroon Football Federation officials studied everything, and they wrote to the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education concerning the appointments of which we were not aware about that. And of course, within the time, actually you notice that names of coaches like the likes of Everena and the likes of the guy who took Nigeria to the Nations Cup, Jose Peseiro, and notwithstanding the guy or the man they call Fabio Cannavaro. Those were the names that were forwarded by the federation to FECAFOOT, that these are the people we want. And the first choice was Everena, and it was alleged that Everena was asking a very huge salary from Cameroon, and because of the huge salary of Everena, huge salary from Jose Peseiro, huge salary too from Fabio Cannavaro, the state decided to choose Marc Brice, and that is how Marc Brice became the head coach. And after that, Samuel Eto'o, the Cameroon Football Federation, wrote a letter to the world governing football body, that is FIFA, denouncing the fact that the state of Cameroon has appointed a coach, and of course they were not aware of that decision. And FIFA replied by saying that they have gone through all of the documents FECAFOOT sent, and they went through the convention FECAFOOT signed with the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education, and according to Article 9 of that convention, they gave their powers to FECAFOOT, and they have to revise Article 9, line 1 of that convention, which states that FECAFOOT, if FECAFOOT wants to appoint a coach, they have to actually let the government, that is the Ministry of Sport, to be aware of their choice.
Avoir un avis obligatoire.
If FECAFOOT or the MINICEP says yes, they go ahead to sign the coach. But in the case where they are not able, the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education can appoint the technical bench and hand it over to FECAFOOT for them to manage. So that is the article of contention where FIFA actually advised FECAFOOT that they should sit down and revise that article in that convention, so that peace might reign and FECAFOOT will have the full power of appointing a coach as well. FECAFOOT wrote a letter later on to the Ministry of Sport, and the Ministry of Sport also demanded that first, can you provide to us the letter you sent to FIFA before this outing of FIFA? And after that, it was a war of words until today that yesterday.
On a lu la réponse de Samuel Eto'o en français facile. Il a dit que
simple French.
Il ne devrait pas
That is it.
mettre à disposition cette lettre donc, au ministère, parce que c'est une communication interne entre la FECAFOOT et la FIFA.
It's been a huge problem between the two houses, and we hope that peace will come up, and if peace finally reigns, then it will be good for Cameroon, because we can't be having matches to play just next month, in some few weeks to come, and we have crisis. And as we told you earlier on, FECAFOOT announced a meeting. Remember, Samuel Eto'o appointed a set of persons to head the national football team, and he adopted Marc Brice. He adopted also the likes of Mulanga. He also adopted Jani Ziloris, and also Christophe Manouvrier, but changed the other persons that the Ministry of Sports had earlier appointed. And they had a meeting this morning. Unfortunately, the first three, that is all of the whites that were appointed by the Ministry of Sports were absent in that meeting, but those who were appointed by Samuel Eto'o, who are based in Cameroon, were present, except the likes of Idris Carlos Kameni, whom we heard was not in Cameroon because of administrative reasons. That is according to
le secrétaire général a dit à la fin de la réunion.
We are not talking about so it was Fekafu that said they could not come because of administrative reasons. So we were expecting to see what will happen to at the Ahmadu Ahijo Stadium later on, and we also McBreeze was present, his assistants all were present. So who is legitimate? That is the big question that we are asking, and we hope that we might have some luck here, because it seems that the technical aspect is failing us. We might have some luck to get in touch with Ike Cyril and Gizogo, not forgetting Joel Esenge, who were part of the conference out there in Yaoundé. If they are there, then it will be good for us to have more first-hand information of what happened at the conference room there in Yaoundé.
Le temps peut-être de rallier Yaoundé. On va rappeler l'événement de cet après-midi, la publication, la toute première donc de la liste de McBreeze relativement aux échéances qui arrivent en juin prochain, notamment les 3e et 4e journées des éliminatoires de la Coupe du Monde 2026. 3 gardiens de but ont été sélectionnés par le sorcier belge Simon Omosala, André Onana, Simon Gapan Douenbou. En défense, Malcolm Bokele, Castelletto Jean-Charles, Ivan Dibango, James Eto, Guy Kalama, Harold Moukoudi, Michael Gadu le revenant, Jackson Tchatchoua, Nou Tolo, Christophe Faye Collins. Dans l'entrejeu des Lions indomptables, Carlos Baleba, Eric Maxime, c'est vrai que Choupo-Moting est attaquant, Zambo Anguissa, Raoul Dansabé, Martin Onla, Jean-Bosco Tindo, Koundé Malom, Ivan Neyou et Olivier Cham. Et donc en attaque justement le vieux briscard Aboubakar Vincent, Christian Bassogok est notre revenant, Jules Mancor, Didier Lakemze, Sa Majesté Brian Bomo, Faris Pemi Mumbania, le Phocéen, et Nicolas Ngamele, la dernière personne, donc Georges Kevin Koudou, 30 présélectionnés de sélectionneur McBreeze pour affronter le Cap-Vert le 3 juin prochain, ici au Cameroun, et le 10 juin, donc du côté de Luanda, Angola, Cameroun, dans le cadre de la 4e journée des éliminatoires de la Coupe du Monde 2026. Peut-on parler aussi des infrastructures, Simandi Kangebril. Quand on a nommé le sélectionneur, immédiatement le lendemain, en dehors de la crise qui s'est vissée, lui, il allait visiter les infrastructures, il allait à Douala, Yaoundé, et justement, il a dit qu'il a son idée sur le stade qui pouvait accueillir ce match contre le Cap-Vert, mais il va donner l'appréciation au gouvernement pour que les pouvoirs publics choisissent. Et la FECAFOOT aussi choisit justement le stade sur lequel les Lions indomptables devraient évoluer. C'est aussi important, les infrastructures, savoir où on peut jouer pour pouvoir aborder ces échéances-là.
That is true, and it was but normal for McBreeze to discover some of the fields that we had, and well, he visited the economic capital, Douala, where he saw the Japoma field, the nature. He also saw the Bepanda Omnisport Stadium, the reunification stadium as we call. He also visited Olembe and of course the Ahmadu Ahijo Stadium. But we know so well that Olembe is unquestionable because till date, CAF hasn't given a go-ahead for that structure to be used. So we are expecting that CAF might finally accept that Olembe can also be made available. But notwithstanding, we already know that Ahmadu Ahijo Stadium is used by CAF. We also had the like of Japoma, the field here in Japoma, that is also used by CAF. So it's been normal that those are the two fields that McBreeze might surely select, or the government might choose for the matches to be played in Cameroon. Well, we are told that we are not going to be having luck this afternoon to get in touch with
on découvre au même moment quelques visages des Lions indomptables.
So you understand that we're not going to go over to Yaoundé. Again, just to remind you that it is match day 3, come the 3rd of June. Cameroon versus Cape Verde. It will be in Cameroon. And Cape Verde, as we earlier mentioned, is just behind Cameroon in the classification table of Group D of the qualifiers for the World Cup with 4 points. Cameroon is also counting 4 points. Cameroon has a goal difference of 3, while while Cape Verde has a goal difference of 2. And Libya is third in that group with 4 points still, but with a goal difference of 1. And we have Angola that is having 2 points. They have played 2 matches and 2 drawn games. Mauritius Islands, they are having just 1 point with 1 draw game. And Eswatini pulled out of the race. So in that group, we have 5 countries. Don't forget that Cameroon, we are having 9 countries that will be going for the World Cup plus 1 that will have to go to playoffs. So that is it. We'll not have the luck. We'll not have the luck of going to Yaoundé. Just to remind you, Mark Breeze has released the 30 pre-selected players for Cape Verde and Angola encounter. That is it, Ashin.
On va donc prendre congé de nos téléspectateurs en vous donnant rendez-vous dès ce soir sur les antennes d'Équinoxe Télévision dans le cadre d'Horizon Sport. Fabrice Elomou et ses invités auront donc l'occasion de revenir de l'eau en l'âge sur les 30 présélectionnés de Marc Brice. La liste est tombée donc il y a quelques minutes sur nos antennes et on n'a pas pu avoir nos envoyés spéciaux du côté de Yaoundé, Aïe-Cyril, Guizogo, Emmanuel et Sengue et donc Diop. En tout cas, ce n'est que partie remise. Merci d'avoir été de nôtres pour cette édition spéciale consacrée à la liste des Lions indomptables. Mardi Kangebril, on se retrouve dans notre cuisine interne.
Definitely, we're going to go behind closed doors and want to say big thank you to the battery of technicians who have been struggling throughout the day. Zefren Gonji was actually managing it. We have Rafael Dipanda, Malis Minkumu, Jonathan Babiola. We also have Ledupone, and not forgetting Innocent Abega, who all were joined. Not forgetting too, Eric, Florent Watat, who were all behind the doors to ensure that things move on. So behind us, we'll continue our work. Do have a nice time on Equinoxe Television in Douala.
Bonsoir.